Hey, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Our Last Leg podcast. You got me, Nikki G, and my co-host,
Jonny Gamble.
Let me tell you, we got a good episode for you guys today.
Sorry.
Got a lot of tea, a lot of good stuff, a lot of insights. But to get the show started, I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know, got my dick stomped in last week, and I'm owning it. I'll own it.
Same here.
But
what an understatement. What an understatement. And I don't even know if I'm sure actually not. I take it back. If you guys had a lot of ATDs, I'll say out that gate for all those people who picked the most popular receivers for the most part and running backs for anytime touchdowns, they did fairly well. Anything outside that realm, you guys got fucked. There's no way you didn't. I was definitely one of those people. I'm sure you were too.
100%.
I'll put one ticket that I only had that I was really, really confident about, and I got fucked because Deebo Samuel got injured. I'm not going to blame him. It sucks that usually when people tend to lose their bets, unfortunately, is due to an injury, and no one ever wants that. Never.
At least with the big name players.
For sure.
Like somebody, Deebo's guaranteed to get.
This early in the season. But anyway, that was my little take. Oh, it irks me. Irks me. And go ahead.
It irks the living shit out of me, but guess what? We live to fight another day around here. Mm-hmm. We live to fight another day at Our Last Leg. So, again, I also got my ass whooped. A lot of really bad beats. A lot of them by one leg, but that's par for the fucking course around here. Go ahead and peep the name. Zoom in on that, John. Free frame. Perfect.
Right there.
Did you want to touch on anything before we dive into the NFL?
Yeah, so as we always start every single episode, if you guys enjoy this content, please be sure to drop a like, hit subscribe, share with your family, friends. We're always here. Drop some picks. Drop a lot of losses too. But it's not the ones that we tell you guys to make. It's the ones that we make our own behalf on the day of. Usually that's how it goes. But hey, we enjoy doing this for you guys. We like doing it for ourselves. It's fun. We enjoy doing it nonetheless. So again, please be sure to like, hit subscribe, share with your family and friends. We enjoy it. Helps the algorithm. And before we jump into NFL, I am a die-hard UFC fan. I'm not going to get into depth, but my boy here, if you guys didn't follow us last year, go ahead, flip back to our YouTube channel for last year. My boy went to go see John fucking Bone Jones when he came back. And that dude ended it in round one in less than a minute?
It was way too fast.
For
We were in Vegas for a long fucking time, but by God, was it amazing to watch John Bones Jones.
In the return.
The GOAT of UFC.
100%.
The GOAT.
Yes,
it's
sir.
not a question. I don't want to hear shit about Chuck Liddell, your boy Conor McGregor. I don't want to hear a fucking thing about it. It's John Jones. He would beat the fuck out of your favorite fighter.
Yes, sir.
So coming up on the card this weekend, I think John wanted to touch on a couple things because I know you're really excited.
Oh, yeah. It's really about 3 fights. I'm a Johnny Walker fan. If you don't know, he's an awesome, entertaining fighter. But the main two, I can never pronounce the last names, and I watch them all the time. But Khamzat versus Usman, bro, definitely a fight you guys need to watch. If Khamzat wins, I'm calling it now. It's going to be by points or submission. I don't think it's going to be by KO. Usman wins, it's going to be by KO or points. No submission. But the main card, we were going to get Islam for the rematch versus Charles Oliveira in Dubai. That didn't happen. Unfortunately, Charles Oliveira got cut up on the upper left eyebrow, I think, on a round 5 sparring the day before his fight, which is super unfortunate. But we got the motherfucking GOAT, Alexander Volkanovski, for the rematch. He lost last time to Islam. This is his time to redeem himself. And in an 11-day notice, he took it. No bullshit. You guys can search it. So many articles. It was all over the internet for a good day or so. But I'm definitely going to be watching that card. Will I make a bet? More than likely. Now, it's going to be all in, for sure.
I'll be telling what he
on
makes.
Alexander Volkanovski. This dude is going to win. He has to win it back. But if he doesn't, Islam wins on points. He doesn't knock Volkanovski out. If Volkanovski wins, it's going to be on points or TKO. Mark my words. You heard it here. All right. Anyway, I'm
sitting here looking at it as well. These dudes look mean as fuck.
Oh yeah. And if you guys
you get in a bar fight, you want these guys in your fucking corner.
Oh yeah, for sure. And Islam, dude, that dude literally rustles bears for training. And Volkanovski, he's just a short dude, but that dude's a Hulk. That dude can take anything.
Yeah. So
truly.
Makachev, Volkanovski,
Islam Makhachev, and then Alexander Volkanovski.
Almeida and Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis is fighting again.
in that
But that's coming up in November. That's going to be a great
card.
card. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, but Johnny Walker, I'm gonna name the last 3 winners for sure. It's gonna be Johnny Walker, hopefully. It's gonna be Kazmat, hopefully. And I really fucking hope more than any of those 2, give me Alexander Volkanovski.
So are you talking about this guy against Usman?
Yup, Kazmat, however you pronounce it. Yeah,
Kaimov,
yeah,
whatever.
That dude's a G. That's the protege, one of the proteges under Islam and Khabib, I believe.
So in the top 3 cards, he's taken Walker, the white guy, and the
Alexander motherfucking Volkanovski.
and the other white guy.
All right. Well, that's my UFC take. Yeah.
All right. Well,
If you guys are a fan of UFC, at least, but I am, and I'm gonna say right there. So you guys will see me give some little takes on UFC pay-per-views like that, the big ones at least.
it's the good cards.
But yeah. But anyway, I think it's time.
I think it is time now. If you fast forward past that UFC segment, we're getting into football right now, baby. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Let's do Thursday night football. Why not?
Absolutely.
We got Jags at Saints. My golly, this is going to be a weird matchup. Saints are favored by -1.5. Over under at 39.5.
Really fucking low, bro.
Yeah, very low. For one, I'll go ahead and come out and say it. Give me the over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
39.5. The Jags put up 34 up on us last week. Or,
Granted,
yeah.
it was in London. Because like you said, it left to them. London.
Well, no, that was against the Colts. They just put that up on them.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, I mean, all the Saints have to do is score 1 touchdown. You know, if the Jags can drop 34 again. Hell, I mean, bro, that game's 2020. 2020, you hit the over. Come on now. That's what? 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns, 2 field goals.
2 touchdowns, 2
apiece.
field goals. That's so easily attainable. Both these teams are looking good right now. Derek Carr's looking good. 353 yards last week in a tutty. I'm always rooting for the guy. I have never not liked him, but the problem is he's barely good. Like
To me, he's a fairly inconsistent. I'm not gonna say fairly, but sometimes he can be.
I'd almost go highly inconsistent.
Oh, okay. We agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's his problem. And right now you got Chris Olave,
yep.
Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara just came back. Taysom Hill. You've got an electric offense there. You know, you should be able to get the job done in most situations, but he doesn't seem to. And then the other thing, you know, with Derek Carr, he threw for 353 yards last week. They're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars this week. Gardner Minshew put up over 300 yards against the Jags last week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like Derek Carr over 250.
Over 250.
Over 250, if Gardner can get over 300 and Derek Carr's in rhythm.
Granted, he always does pass the ball. He doesn't really. They're not really much of a run game. They're not using Kamara the way we thought.
They're
maybe
slowly
the way they should be
easing him back in.
I'll say
Most definitely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think they're trying to kind of reinvent their playbook once more because I almost feel like Kamara and Derek Carr are not necessarily one another trying to fight for that top spot, but like it's always been about Derek Carr recently. Kamara was out of the picture for quite a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we're going to start seeing a lot more run game in the playbook. So you can probably see some of those passing yards decrease. I guess depending on who they're playing, that is, and how if they're trying to make a comeback, if they're low, obviously. But can you really? I don't think that Derek Carr breaks 250 yards.
I do. Give me Carr for 250. If Gardner can go over 300, Derek Carr went over 300 last week. You don't think he can hit 250? With, at one point, Michael Thomas was one of the greatest wide receivers in the NFL. Chris Olave is very promising. Taysom Hill, he's a fucking wild card. Alvin Kamara,
if he does it, it's going to be because of Olave. If he does it, because it's going to be Olave. But that's it.
I think it's going to be a team effort. I think it'll be a team effort.
But it won't be in passing yards.
Yeah. Give me Derek Carr over 250 yards, 250 passing yards.
If I had what's his line? Oh, it doesn't say right here.
It doesn't tell us yet.
Yeah, I
We
have
got
it
it
right
live
here open.
right
For you guys
now.
don't see it right now, we have an iPad in front of us with all the open bets for Thursday Night Football. Unfortunately, the only things they give us is the general stuff such as spreads, anytime touchdowns, and over and unders. So there's no SGPs that we can make, unfortunately. But if I could take a whack of what his line is sitting at, what do you think it's at right now?
His line's probably at 239 maybe.
Okay, so a little short off of 250.
Off of 250. Yeah, so you know what? If his line's under 250, like his natural line, not an alternative line, his straight up line, if it's less than 250, I would take the over. If he's sitting at 239, I would take the over.
If it's between 240 and 250, I will take the under. That's me though. That's me.
Would you take the over at 225?
Well, you guys can circle back to our Instagram stories if that's a line. But for the time being, I am saying it's going to not be 250 yards. I don't know.
right.
I don't know, but anyway.
Okay.
All right.
So the other thing that we need to look at in this game is that Trevor Lawrence got a little hurt last week. He wasn't looking too good coming off the field. I looked like he had a little bit of a knee injury.
Yep.
So that's one thing you guys got to take into account. But Trevor Lawrence came out and said he's very optimistic that he's going to play. If he's healthy enough, it doesn't matter if he gets doctor's approval and the coaches don't think he should. He's going to tell him he's healthy enough to play. And if Trevor Lawrence is on the field, I like the Jags. Give me the Jags at plus 1.5 and over 39.5.
I love that pick so much, brother. I'm going to take it straight money line. It's plus money at 102. If you guys like the spread for 1.8, I won't blame you. It's 1 point. It's not much of a difference. It's minus 115. That's basically 1-1, ladies and gents. Why wouldn't you
I'm taking the cushion, yeah.
Exactly. My boy takes the cushion. I don't blame him. Hey, you know, sometimes in football, you gotta do it. And that's probably why I fuck up. And I'm probably sure you guys who probably do more or less the same thing I do. It's sometimes good to play the cushion, guys. It is. There's no, hey, as long as you win, who cares? Who cares?
That's all that matters, baby.
Exactly.
You know, all right. It's rough going against teams you want to, or rooting for teams you want to lose, but from a betting perspective, you have to be very optimistic. You have to disassociate from your favorite teams. You got to keep that betting mentality. Keep it up here, baby.
Bet with your heart, or excuse me, your head, not your heart.
Exactly. I think we go ahead and go to the next game if you're okay with that.
Absolutely.
You care if I pick?
I already knew you wanted to, so go ahead.
Lions at Ravens. Ravens are favored by -3. Over-unders at 42.5. Woo! I think, personally, this is the second best game of the week. And we'll get to what I think is the number one best.
I think it's a little biased. It's your favorite team.
No, I mean, to me, these are two Super Bowl contending teams playing each other right now. Lions are what, 4-1? Ravens are 4-2?
Go ahead with your segment. I'll confirm that.
Okay. So, both teams are coming off a win. Ravens got a win over the Titans, 24-16. Bucks got a win, or Bucks lost to the Lions, 20-6. If Baltimore wants to win this game, they have got to find a way to get into the fucking end zone because the Ravens struggled big time scoring. Justin Tucker had to kick 6 fucking field goals. They scored 1 time. Titans defense did great. And now, let's go ahead and go back and look at this in retrospect. The Lions stopped the Buccaneers from getting in the end zone at all. They weren't able to get in whatsoever. And that's one thing you got to take into your perspective when you're making your bet. Because if the Ravens are already struggling to get in the red zone or score in the red zone, and the Lions are not allowing teams to score in the red zone, the Bucks, hell, they're no slouches. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, they're not no chumps on the field. And the Lions made them look like that. So,
don't you think that's more on Baker Mayfield's part, though?
There's a lot that it falls into.
I know you like the dude so much because I'm not saying I don't like the dude. I really don't. I'll have indifferent opinions with a guy. Maybe it's more of a game-by-game basis.
It is definitely.
Right. But
he's not consistent.
Okay, we agree with that. We can agree with that. But
Baker's not
consistent are those two receivers. Granted, we had Brady throwing darts to these guys. So, maybe I'm stuck in that mentality, which I'll admit, I'm more stuck on that mentality where you have Brady throwing darts to these receivers. They're more than likely going to catch it. We're comparing Brady to someone like Baker Mayfield. I'm not saying Baker Mayfield doesn't have that potential because he truly does. Just not right now. So it's kind of hard to really say and support something like that because we're trying to compare. And I'm stuck in that mindset. And I'll admit to it again that I just can't see how Godwin, Mike Evans, most of these players, those wide receivers on the Bucks can shine with someone who has to rely on a quarterback like Baker Mayfield throwing them the darts.
Well, the issue there is Mike Evans has had, I think, 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. That was before Brady. Baker should be able to get it done.
I did not know that stat.
They've got the hands. I think Mike Evans has the most consecutive 1,000-yard seasons in the NFL right now.
Did not know that.
So, but cycling back, the Lions were able to shut him down. But Baker Mayfield's not Lamar Jackson. Let's just go ahead and clear that up.
Yeah.
Lamar is a triple threat. He can run the ball, he can pass the ball, or he can just dump it off to a running back, and you think he still has the ball. So, don't forget, Goff also threw for 353 yards last week as
Yes,
well.
sir.
That man had a
Yep.
fucking day, 2 tutties. Hey, hats off to Goff because, wow, that guy played fucking great. The only thing that scares me about the Lions in this game, David Montgomery got hurt last week.
Mm-hmm.
But walking into that game, Jahmyr Gibbs was injured already. Their backup running back. So now they're going to be running. They just signed one guy that I think was an undrafted free agent, and they elevated somebody from the practice squad.
Interesting.
So, with that being said, the Ravens struggled really bad with the Titans.
Before you make your decision, at the beginning, you said Detroit, what was their record or what rank were they?
I think they're 4-1, aren't they? Yeah, and then Ravens are 4-2.
They are 5-1.
5-1.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, goddamn.
Yeah.
They're juggernauts in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and Ravens are 4-2.
4-2, exactly. So everybody's got the Ravens winning this game. They're favored by 3. And go Flock, go. Diehard Ravens fan. I bleed blue and purple, baby, okay? Give me the Lions plus 5.5 and the under. John, how do you feel about that?
I will say that I like you said plus 5.5.
Lions plus 5.5.
Oh, am I tripping? Are the Lions the underdogs?
Yes.
No shot.
I swear to God, Ravens are favored by 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this dude is not lying. No, they're actually favored by 3 on FanDuel as we speak. Ooh. Honestly, I like the plus 3 then.
I think it's disrespectful to the Lions. They're in Baltimore, but I don't think that's going to change anything.
I think the Lions win no matter what. But plus 3 in case they lose by a field goal, I like that too.
So if they do lose by a field goal, take them at 3.5 instead. That way you still cover the spread, be good to go. I like them at 5.5. I always play the cushion. You know, I don't expect the Ravens to win this game, but I'm going to be rooting for them while I'm playing, even with money on the line for the Lions.
Respect. Respect. Okay, so we can both agree that the Detroit Lions cover. You're saying 5.5?
I like them at 5.5. Can you agree they cover
5.
that?
Yeah. I'll take 5. Yeah.
Perfect.
Agreed. We agree on that one. 100%. Yeah,
they only beat the Titans by, what was it? It was 24-16. They only won by 8 points. And the Lions are a way better fucking team than the Titans. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think another game that we wanted to touch on. Oh, are you done with that one? Sorry.
Yeah. I'm done.
Oh, before we do,
all good.
Over under, touching it, don't like it.
I like the under.
Agreed.
I like the under.
Agreed.
I smell like definitely the under. I like the under.
Give me 13-20 Lions.
That sounds very realistic.
33 right there. 33.
Got to think though.
Yeah.
But then there's the other problem is all the Ravens have to do is drive downfield 65 yards. Justin Tucker, field goal.
Yes.
And with him
you're
kicking
right.
6
You
last
were-
week,
you were
they
fucking
put up
right.
18 points with
you
him.
are fucking right, which I also had him on his fantasy. Thank God. But
No
you are right.
shit.
You are right. I forget. They got the freaking best kicker in the NFL.
In the history of the NFL. Historically, statistically, the most accurate kicker ever.
Yep. Agreed.
The record setter for the longest fucking field goal.
Yeah, that it's so funny because this is the last point I'm going to touch on this game because we've probably been dabbling a little too long on it. But it's hard when you talk about the Ravens. Everyone just talks about Lamar Jackson. And you don't even think about the field goal yardage that this kicker gets because he can truly score what he just said and what we all witnessed.
Easily.
18 points alone in just field goals. Impressive. He can win a whole game on his own.
No shit.
He can literally win a whole game on his own.
I mean, that's why kickers
As far as
are
scoring,
That's why kickers are some of the highest scoring players in the NFL. Adam Vinatieri has more points ever scored in the NFL than any player in history.
God,
Yeah.
what a stat. What a stat. Anyway, as hard as a game that I don't really even want to talk about because it fucking ails me. It ails me talking about my team.
I know where you're going. I got a nice little slate written
Yeah, I bet you do. We are going to talk about the motherfucking New England Patriots at home against the Buffalo Bills Mafia. It is favoring, guess who? The Bills at minus 8.5 as we are looking at it right now. And the over and under is sitting at 41.5.
Now, just to be clear, from a betting perspective, I went against my favorite team. So Let's see what John does after we read off a couple stats for you and just a little bit of info. Let's see which direction he goes. So, Bills are coming off a disgusting W against the Giants. That was foul. They got away with a blatant pass interference call in the very last play of the game against Darren Waller. They were all over him. It should have been another play, and I think the Giants would have beat him. But, the NFL's got the script. They got to follow it. So, Patriots coming off 21-17 loss to the Raiders, which wasn't very shocking at all.
Yeah.
The Patriots are gross, and they're only getting nastier.
Yes.
They are, but same way with, the Colts. Anytime you have a beautiful franchise that runs for so long, you just get fucked for like a decade. Like, you don't get to get back-to-back generational quarterbacks unless you're the goddamn Packers. You know what I'm saying? But Patriots lost 21-17, and I don't think the Patriots have a fucking chance of winning this. Even when the Bills aren't playing great, somehow they still find a way to compete in games.
Yes, sir.
And I think if the Bills are firing on 60% of their cylinders, they still find a way to beat the Patriots. Actually, I don't think the Patriots find a way to beat the Bills. I don't think the Bills find a way to win. I think the Patriots can't find a way to beat the Bills.
Agreed. But do you think they could cover 8.5? I guess that's the real question, because I'm sure 99% of the pop thinks that the Bills will win, which I'm one of those.
Let me go give you this little zinger then. Patriots are 0-3 at home against the spread, and guess what they're playing? Gillette Stadium. So, they have not covered the spread once at home. 8.5 is a big number, though. That's a big number. Clearly, the Bills aren't good at running up the score. We've seen that this year. They're not the same team anymore. So, if I'm giving you a pick, I'm taking the Bills at 7.5. I think 9.5 is a little steep, or 8.5. What are they at? 8.5 right now?
Yep.
I like 7.5. I think for some reason it's going to be 8.
I'm not even going to. Well, I'll respect that they're going to win, because I agree. The Bills will win. I like what you said. I don't see them even standing a chance, and the Bills, like what you said, they don't have to find the means on how to beat Belichick. How? For what reason? This is probably like the lowest point that Belichick's ever been in a fucking long time.
In his entire career.
And I say it, and I've been saying it since last season, ladies and gents. I am so over Mac Jones. I am. And I'm not saying it's just necessarily him, but the last 2 out of the 3 games have been him. Shot of a doubt. No shot of a doubt. Is it all his fault? No. But the Patriots need to figure something out. Belichick needs to figure something out.
One of the quotes I saw, it said that somebody close to Mac Jones just came out and said, you can't give a chef bad ingredients and expect him to cook.
There you go.
A good chef knows how to make a gourmet fucking meal out of a McDonald's burger. Don't give me that shit. Brady did it with dog shit receivers his entire fucking career and made them elevated, made them look better than they were. Let's see. Wes Welker, Chris Hogan, Julian Edelman. Edelman was really good.
Yeah.
But I don't think he would be.
He was the only one.
I don't think he would be what he is without Brady.
Agreed.
Fuck, dude. The list goes on and on of receivers that were not that good.
God, this is tough. It just irks me. Keep going.
So, I mean, that's really what I'm getting at. A good chef could make a gourmet meal out of a fucking McDonald's order. So, don't give me that bullshit that you don't know how to cook. You work with what you've got and you make the best of a bad situation. Good quarterbacks do that. And I agree with John. I don't think Mac Jones is a franchise quarterback like they expected him to be.
Agreed. And I don't even want to touch more about it. I'm getting boiled.
Ooh, you want to hear another thing?
Of course.
They also came out and said that Bill Belichick is not unfireable. What they need to do is get rid of him in the GM position. He's a great head coach. He needs to quit picking players, though. This isn't, you can't build a team around the premise of what you did with Tom Brady. It's not gonna work. The NFL changes all the fucking time. Belichick needs to lose the GM position, which is normally a lot of the drafting rights, and has a lot of say in who gets drafted. So, Belichick is not unfireable. Oh my God, it's music to my ears. I love to hear it.
Maybe he's stuck in the same mindset as me and most people are, because we just compare Mac Jones with literally the best debatably, one of the best quarterbacks of all time.
Very big shoes to fill too.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's unfortunate for Mac Jones because he has to follow in that shadow or footsteps of one of the greatest quarterbacks that just left the team. Sucks for him, but he has the spotlight. It just sucks that he's not able to fill that role. Maybe in a couple of years from now. Right now is not the time. We need to adapt. We need to make some changes, whether that's on the coaching side, admittable, but definitely on the offensive passing side. That is my take. Give me the Bills money line. They're going to win. I don't even care about how much, frankly, but they're going to win.
Got one more for you. One more, just a little.
Of course you do.
One more little
Put lime on the wound. Go
So
for it.
yeah, exactly. So the Patriots they lost by 4 points to the Raiders.
To the Raiders.
Are we saying the Raiders have a better offense than the Bills? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We don't think the Bills can get 5 more points. You don't think in that situation the Bills don't get 5 more points with a better defense and a better
You're
offense?
trying to convince me to take the spread. That's what he's trying to do. Guys, don't listen to this guy. They're good. Bills will win. The Bills will win. But will they win? But like what you say, but take the spread.
I'll take him at 7.5. I'm a giant pussy. So
Yeah.
I'm taking him at 7.5. I don't like the 8.5. I feel like that's kind of a baity number, especially after they got us real good on the 49ers and Browns last week. So I'm just taking that little bit of cushion. I like the Bills at -7.5. Patriots lose no matter what. Agreed?
Agreed on the Patriots losing no matter what.
Beautiful. I love to hear that.
I bet you do.
Let me
All
get it
right.
one more time.
Nothing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let him choose the next game.
All right. Let's go ahead and do the Chargers at the Chiefs. My fucking goodness. Chiefs -5.5, over under sitting at 48.5. This is the $750 million matchup right here. $750 million matchup right here. You got the $500 million quarterback Patrick Mahomes against the $250 million quarterback Justin Herbert. I mean, this is gonna be a great fucking game, man.
We can expect a lot of passing yards. For sure. So honestly, and they probably are making the right choice throwing the over and under at 48.5. I honestly would usually say with a number that high, give me the under. But with these two teams, I'm sure you and I agree, hopefully, this is going to be a high scoring game. So I'm liking the over. And as far as how the Chiefs have been playing, I don't think as far as Patrick Mahomes' ankle injury, it hasn't been playing a big factor. I think he finally overcame that.
Agreed.
And I think the whole offensive line has understood that he's good to go. That doesn't mean let them get it to him. But that ankle is no longer an issue, guys. This dude can run the ball if he wants to. He's probably not gonna. I think this is going to be a very, very pass hard heavy game. So whatever their lines are at, I can definitely see Patty Mahomes throwing plus 250, plus 275 yards. And honestly, might say the same for Josh Herbert.
Those are bold statements there, John.
Yeah. I like it.
So
Honestly, I like that.
Chiefs have won 5 in a row.
Yeah.
It's the Chargers. Definitely need to take that into account. But another thing to look at, last 2 times they played, it's been within a field goal. Chiefs are at -5.5. So with that logic, Chargers plus 5.5 should be a no fucking brainer. If they're keeping it within a field goal, I think this is a very tight game. The over-under scares the fuck out of me because this could turn into look, even if it's 27-21, you don't hit. You do not hit that. And actually, the spread doesn't hit. So the best bet that I could think of is Chargers plus 6.5. You're going to lose a little bit of juice on the spread, but not a whole lot because it's at 5.5 for the Chiefs. So you take the Chargers at plus 6.5. Last 2 games have been within a field goal. Even if it's 21-27, you're getting that extra 6. You got that extra half point to save your ass right there. And I think that's the best way to go. Personally, Chargers struggled against the Cowboys a lot. I think they come back with a vengeance. I think Mahomes gets put in check once again. But I do like the passing props. I like the player props in this game. I think the Chiefs still win, but
Okay.
I think the Chargers do cover the spread.
So, if you're saying that the Chargers cover by plus 6.5, so obviously, with that being said, you have some faith, that the Chargers could somehow pull this off.
Correct.
In as far as a winning standing point. But in his statement, if you guys rewind a little bit, he said that the Chiefs win, where I agree with that. So if you guys do not like the over and under, like my boy does not, fine. How do you feel about a winning margin of the Kansas City Chiefs between 1 and 13 points? And bro, that already puts you at plus 120, which is plus money.
That's really good.
Right.
I like
right,
that. He just made that up on the fly, you guys.
I literally right here. That looks nice. It looks promising. It looks realistic because it just literally agreed with everything my boy just said. I'm not saying that the Chargers don't cover the spread, whether that's 6.5 or 5.5. But we agree that the Chiefs win. And I don't think that the Chiefs win by 2 touchdowns or more. Right?
I agree with you on that. So I'm not sure if FanDuel will let us do it. But if they do, take the Chargers on the spread and take the Chiefs winning margin at 1 to 13. If they let you do that, that'd be fucking kick ass. Those would be even better odds because that's really back in our same theory that we have.
Yeah, you're right. And I think right now, just because we're playing with it as we speak, some of the SGPs and stuff, obviously they're not set yet. They probably will be Saturday or Friday. But usually from what I'm aware of on FanDuel, on winning margins, they are a part of SGPs, same game parlays. So if that is the case, we might throw up a little something on our story. Be sure to follow us, whatever, and we'll at least show you what it looks like on FanDuel if you guys bet on that sports book.
And on there, we'll also be dropping our bets and stuff since we're putting this podcast out so early. We'll make sure to get some bet slips in there that you guys can look at and tail if you would like to, adjust whatever you want. But we have a pretty good idea of which direction we like to go in.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think it is a shootout, just like John said. And I like a lot of the player props in this game. But I think your safest bet is going to be Chiefs 1 to 13 on the victory.
Yeah. And that's plus money, guys. Like, can you beat that? Not really. Not with this one.
Not for a straight up. We don't like to do a lot of straight ups, but if you're going to,
this is the one. Yeah, this is the one.
That's it.
Agreed? All right. What is the next one?
All right. We've got 2 more games to touch on. One's going to be light. One's going to be the longer one, which is going to be this one right here. We got the Dolphins at the Eagles. My goodness. I personally think this is going to be the greatest game of the week. This is America's game. This is going to be a fucking shoot out.
Sunday Night Football. Woo!
I'm saying prime time, baby. This is what we want in prime time. This is it right here. Dolphins and Eagles. Eagles are favored by -2. Over under is sitting at 51.5.
It's tiny.
Let me go ahead and give you some
as far as the
just some odd things real quick.
Yeah.
Because
get them out of the way now.
The Dolphins are the Eagles of the AFC. The Eagles are the Dolphins of the NFC. They both drafted a franchise quarterback in 2020. They both used a top 10 pick on a receiver in 2021. They both made a huge trade for a receiver in 2022. They are both now tied for the best record in the NFL in 2023. They are the same fucking team for the last 3 years, which is, I find that slightly interesting. And then we also got to take into consideration Dolphins they have the highest average for passing yards in the NFL right now.
Yeah. Best duo right now, right?
They have to be. There's no way they're not. The next team doesn't even average 270 yards in second place. And the Dolphins are at 316 passing yards average per game. That's fucking crazy. Now, granted, a lot of that is stat padded from the 70-20 win. But at the same time, stats are stats, baby. You got to follow that.
Yeah. Stats are stats. But if you want to take other games into comparison of what had happened, may I remind you guys?
The Bills.
The Eagles just lost.
Oh, that too, yeah.
They just lost to the Jets, guys. We're recording this on a Tuesday night right now. When I won't even touch too much on it. I was telling my guy all day. The Jets were somehow going to win today. He was in disbelief. And he was just saying, no, they're not, bro. And I was saying, I don't know, man. They're going to pull it off some way, somehow. And I was this close on betting it, and I didn't. And lo and behold, if you guys watched that game, wow. Honestly, that day, I really felt like the NFL was almost fucking rigged. I really did.
Oh, Vegas had a hand in last Sunday.
How do the Eagles lose the same day miraculously that the undefeated 49ers lose by a field goal? Like,
just to be clear, this is how we justify losing our bets. But no, it really felt like that.
I don't know. It was a little too convenient for both of those teams to lose on a day like that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
And we would even say it last episode. If you guys go back, my boy even said that the Browns were sitting at minus.
The Niners were at minus 4.5 when we recorded it.
Yeah, and then it jumped to 9.5. So thankfully, I hope you guys did take that line. But that was a trap I was willing to fall for.
I fell for it. I fell 2 units for it.
Yeah, and I'm in loss of words.
Makes
truly.
no fucking
It hurts
sense
even
how
talking
that
about it.
happened.
But the point is, if the Eagles lost to the New York Jets, what makes you think that the Miami Dolphins can't pull it off against the Eagles?
Well, I do think that because I got the Dolphins at +2. I'm never going to go against the highest scoring team in the entire NFL, the team that has the most passing yards. Statistically, they do not lose this game. Granted, they are in Philly, literally the worst fan base in the entire fucking NFL. They threw fucking batteries at Santa Claus. But at the end of the day, if the Eagles have some success downfield, which is where they're going to have to find it at, they can keep up with the highest scoring team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Which is why the line is so small. Don't care. Dolphins +2.
You know, I'm honestly surprised you didn't want to bump them up to +3.5. You don't think?
I'm almost confident the Dolphins win this.
So, wouldn't you want to take the money line?
No. I like the cushion. I think the Dolphins could be up by 1. Eagles can march downfield, kick a field goal.
You know what? I'll agree with you on this one. Honestly, you're right. I usually go money line on either or. This one, you're probably right. Honestly, I'm going to bump it up to +3.5, which I usually don't do.
And that's a great bet, too. I'll take that as well. I'll take the 3.5
Just because you just never know. This, you're right. This is literally the game of the week. It really is.
Yeah.
And this sucks because it's Sunday Night Football. We're gonna drag out our entire Sunday watching football just for this game.
But at least
it's gonna be so worth it.
Yeah, but we got the Chargers and Chiefs beforehand.
Also
So we got 2 good games.
Is that a 4 p.m. or 1 p.m.?
Yeah, it's going to be a 4 o'clock game.
Even better,
likely.
guys.
Almost positive.
Even better. So, yeah, I guess agreed. Miami covers +3.5.
Agree.
Hell yeah. I like that one. I'm definitely going to make some player props, though. I'm expecting a lot of yardage both ways. Stephon Diggs, Tyreek, Waddle. I don't know. Who else is he? Oh, Gabriel Davis. That was the other guy. I'm tripping. That's Bills. Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Tyreek Hill, and Waddle. There we go. Sorry. Got mixed up my teams there. But
and then, just one more thing on that. Don't sleep on Raheem Mostert. Do not sleep on him this week.
Yeah. Dude's breaking records.
I'm not sure if it's going to be passing yards or receiving yards. He's going to be a big part in that offense. It's going to be hard to get past Fletcher Cox. But I think the Dolphins get it done.
I don't like any unders in this game, bro. Like on player props, don't touch the total. But the player props, like we all expect high receiving yards, high rushing yards, either whether that's from Jalen Hurts or from Mostert, however you pronounce his last name. Like I don't expect they're both gonna try to play defense, obviously, but I don't think either team is gonna do well enough to stop each other. If that makes any sense.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Then we just got one more to touch on. This is going to be the short one for you guys. Oh, boy. This one, I wouldn't touch it if I were you, but here we go. 49ers at Vikings. 49ers are favored by -7. Over-under is at 44. McCaffrey hurt last week. Debo hurt last week. Lost in embarrassing fucking fashion. Like, embarrassing. They lost to a backup fucking quarterback after spanking a top 10 NFL team by 32 fucking points.
Yeah, bro. What an upset. What a true upset. This one, honestly, bro, I was more upset about the 49ers losing than the Eagles losing to the Jets.
Because we gave you guys that as the lock of the week. And I'm disappointed in ourselves. But by God, I think anybody that has any type of gambling perspective would have taken that bet.
And I guess wouldn't you find this line kind of trickery, if you will, considering both teams have injured players? Granted, most of their best players, Deebo Samuel, like you said, McCaffrey, JJ is out too. Don't you find that -7 favor the 49ers? Not even at home, away. Favorable too? A little bit?
A little bit? I don't know because, I mean, fuck. Anytime you give the Niners a big spread, they can't cover it. They always seem to crumble.
Oh, okay.
But by God, you know how fucking hard it is to try and back Kirk Cousins?
I won't disagree.
Hands
He's
down.
on my fantasy too, so I know.
The most inconsistent quarterback in the NFL.
Rewind. Last week, my boy did say it. He was so adamant about it, loved it, great enthusiasm. He did say Kirk Cousins, he couldn't see him being another Viking next year. I just saw post an article yesterday or 2 days ago. I think they just signed him. I don't know for how long, but he said that he was going to be a Viking. Not sure for how much longer, but he is going to be a part of the Minnesota Vikings. So maybe he really does have a tie with this. He wants to become better. I think he's stuck there, not because he doesn't want to, because he wants to be. He wants to be the difference. He wants to be the main man for a team like Minnesota Vikings to make it to the top. He should, honestly, I know you say that he's not going to be a part of it eventually. I think he's going to stay there for a long fucking time. So this is the team that he wants to climb all the way through, whether that's hitting rock bottom or making it to the top, and whether that's the Super Bowl, playoffs, etc.
So you're saying that he just got signed?
I'm pretty sure I just saw an article saying that he was either he made a decision of not wanting to leave Minnesota.
Yeah,
or he signed.
It's not going to be up to him. It's not going to be because this is the year his contract ends.
Right.
It's up to them whether they re-sign him. And I said on the last one as well, if they do sign him, it'll be to 1 or 2 years. There will not be a year fucking more for Kirk Cousins.
With a very, very minimal pay. I because saying that too.
Kirk Cousins doesn't expect contract talks with Vikings until off-season, and that was all the way back in June. Yeah. So the only time that I would back Kirk Cousins is with Jay Jettas on the field. And God, I know we talked about it last week. Could you imagine Stephon Diggs, Jay Jettas, and Adam Thielen? Oh my fucking God.
Woo. Yeah, but they had to get Thielen all the way back too, and Diggs and everything.
I can't believe they got rid of him. Yeah. That still blows my mind.
He's
killing it in
Carolina right now.
Killing it in Carolina.
Yeah, keep an eye on him, guys. Keep an eye on him.
Very slept on. Again, you got a 10-man league. Pick Thielen up. I'm pretty sure I said that last week as well.
You did.
And he had a killer fucking week last week.
You did.
He had a great week last week. I think he put up like 30 fantasy points.
Yep.
That's top tier for a wide receiver, man.
For sure.
But I'm not sure what to do about this game. 49ers are 1-2 on the road against the spread. Vikings are 0-3 at home against the spread. Oh, good golly. If I'm a bettor,
this is hard.
I'm not touching it.
I'm like, wow.
I'm not playing it. So I only say that as long as CMC and Deebo Samuel are out. If CMC is in, I will play the game. If CMC is out, I won't play the game. If Debo's in, I will play the game. If Debo's out, I won't play the game.
I would not touch a spread or a money line.
Agreed.
But
you just got to go in. You got to nickel and dime your player.
I'm liking. I don't know who's gonna do it. I don't know who's gonna make it. It's either gonna be Madison for an anytime touchdown. I don't know why. Or Hawkinson.
That's
there we go. It's gonna be Hawkinson. Yeah. I don't know. Like, who else does he have to target? I mean, he has some people. I'm not gonna lie. But Hawkinson, if JJ's not number 1, Hawkinson's an absolute number 2. He's gonna throw it to him. He has to throw it to him.
Yeah.
He's his Thielen. He's his JJ. Like but they're not in the picture here. They're not. It's gonna have to go to Hawkinson. Whatever that line is at right now, I'm looking at it right in front of us. There's no anytime touchdown, unfortunately. But Hawkinson, I love that. And someone who's starting to make a rise. They did it last season for the 49ers, but we saw him make a touchdown last week. I'm liking Kittle. I'm liking Kittle for an anytime touchdown or his yards.
Yeah, don't forget Kittle. Dude's top five tight end in the NFL.
Absolutely, agreed. 100%.
Brandon Ayuk, top 15 wide receiver in the NFL.
That's another wide receiver we got to keep an eye on.
They still got fucking dogs out on that field.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro.
So even if they don't have Deebo Samuel and they don't have McCaffrey, they have weapons, and that's probably why the line is sitting at -7.5, a whole tutty. So if you want to be brave enough to take the whole +7 on the Vikings, I'm not saying I wouldn't blame you. I'm not touching it. No shot I'm touching it. But I like the player props of anytime touchdowns for either Hawkinson. I said Madison. I take it back. Hawkinson, Kittle, how you pronounce his name? Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk.
That guy. One of those three. And if I had to choose two, Ayuk?
Brandon Ayuk.
And Hawkinson. I like those two. Like, yeah, that's my take. That's my take, bro. It really is.
All right, yeah. I mean, I agree with the majority of that. I'd go Hawkinson, ATD. Go ahead and give me.
It's so hard to imagine a game that McCaffrey's not in, right?
Well, yes, it is. But I've said this, I'm pretty sure like 2 weeks ago, I said you get rid of McCaffrey and the 49ers are back to a 9-7 team. I swear to God, I've said that on this podcast, and that's exactly what will happen. And right now they're dealing with injury-prone McCaffrey. They're getting the best of McCaffrey. Why teams didn't want to touch him in the first place. Why the Panthers were willing to put him on the trade block. But at the end of the day, it's see him fucking see, bro. If he's playing, you know what? Even if Debo doesn't play and CMC plays, give me the 49ers at 6.5. Give me the Niners at 6.5. After that embarrassing loss last week, I think they get business done in Minnesota.
I can't even pull myself to even touch it, bro. I can't. But I respect your decision. I respect your decision. I'm still flying with my anytime touchdowns because this game can really go either way, and I'm actually excited for it. I don't know, you're really not. I'll say that. Right?
Yeah,
you're not.
I mean, it's going to be a boring ass game.
But that's also what we said about the Broncos and
Bears.
I'm like, look at that.
And it was very interesting.
Right.
You're right. You know what? I will be watching this game. I'll probably play it just a little bit, not too much. But both these teams are intriguing. You know, they still have potential. KJ Osborne, TJ Hawkinson, Kirk Cousins, Madison. Neither of them really have a. I don't know, man.
Yeah, bro. See, now you got thinking, right? We're gonna make this a smaller piece. We're not gonna dabble too much because it is like right. We started off. He said that is gonna be a pretty boring game. We might be in for a surprise, guys. We might be, and I'm hoping that we are because sometimes I like being proved wrong, especially when it's a boring game. Everyone wants an entertaining game. That's why we watch football. It's exciting. Anything can happen.
Right.
Anything, any point, anytime, something can happen. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm not touching the money line, and I'm not touching the spread, nor am I touching the over and under. But I'm hoping to see some touchdowns, and I'm hoping to see an entertaining motherfucking game. Do you have anything else for us? Any best bets?
I think we sign off, buddy.
You sure?
You know what? Okay, let me go ahead and throw one together real quick. I will tell you guys right now, Chargers +5.5. Go ahead and give me the Dolphins +2. Give me the Niners money line, and give me the Bills money line. That's +501 odds, man. And I feel like all of those are locks. You go ahead and get your little 50% profit boost, put you about 750. Yeah, you throw a unit on that. That's a decent payday. It's not bad. It gives you a little bit of gambling money. Pull yourself out a nice little chunk. Take your old lady out to dinner. It ain't gonna be nothing special. Probably Applebee's, but if you throw 2 units on it, you're going to Texas.
Hey, yo, man, go get those $1 margs, brother. No joke.
If we lose, we're going to Applebee's and getting $1 margs.
All right, I'm gonna give you guys my little 3-teamer steamer as usual. I'm gonna go with the Jacksonville Jags money line.
That's a good pick.
I am gonna go. Just because how you've been hyping them up lately, I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line. And, it's always the third one that I want to throw. Bro, this is, man. Give me
Think wrong.
This is probably gonna be the little flip of a coin. Give me the Miami Dolphins money line, and that puts you plus 6-1. And if you do get a little plus 50% boost, it might push you to 8-1, something like that. That's mine. That's his. You guys heard it here. Hopefully, we both cash. If you guys like the content, please be sure to drop a like, hit subscribe. We are out here. YouTube, Spotify, whatever. Anything else to say?
Hey, you guys have a good gambling week. We're going to do the same, and I think we're actually going to make profit this week.
For sure. Fuck the books. We're here. Our last leg. You got me, Jonny Gamble, my boy.
Oh, Nikki G.
We are here, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
Woo! Let's break the books, Bubba. Cheers, y'all.
Peace.